Well, welcome back. This is your host, ID Jester. We are looking at 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons. Yes, we're only a few short days away from August 19th. We'll be using our basic rules to create a brand new 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons character. Although not all the classes and races are in the basic rules, the process and how you create a character will be the same. So let's just start and get into it and see exactly what the process is in creating a character. I am going to be using Roll20 software. If you're not familiar with this is an online app you can use to play online Dungeons & Dragons and many other different games, as a matter of fact. It's free to play. You can be a mentor or subscriber and get bonus features and all that. But anyways, I've already got some characters in here. I'm going to be making a brand new character, so let's add one here. And I will just save the changes there. That's fine. Let's go into his character sheet. So the way I'm going to be doing it is I'm going to assume that the Dungeon Master has said, alright, make a first level character. We're going to use the standard 27 point buy system. All classes and races are allowed, no special house rules, yada yada yada. So I'm going to use the point buy system. If we look back at our Dungeons & Dragons rules, there's many ways to create your abilities scores on your sheet, whether you do it with point buy system, your DM assigns you stats scores, or you roll in front of your DM or roll offline, whatever. Many different ways, but I'm going to use the standard 27 point buy system here. Of course, with that, you are going to have to spend a certain amount of these points, here described in the ability score point cost chart. You can see that getting a 15 in any one score is going to cost you 9 of these 27 points. You could have a 15, a 15, and a 15, which would use up all 27 points, so the rest of your scores would be 8. So you could have a 15, 15, and 3 15s and 3 8s, or any combination thereof. You could have some 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, and 10, or 13, 13, 13, 12, 12, 12, all kinds of different combinations, which gives you some flexibility when creating a character. So I'm going to think about what kind of character we're going to make here. Let's make a fighter. Shall we make a fighter? Shall we make a fighter? Sure, let's make a fighter. Let's make a fighter, and we'll be a dwarf. So with the fighter, we want a pretty high strength, probably a pretty high constitution. Let's see. Intelligence, wisdom, charisma, dexterity. We'll do up here, thank you, 13, 15, 14, 13, 12, 10, that's not a 10, 8. There we go. And you see once I apply all these scores, whoops, that's 14, not 141. Of course, I'm going to get a modifiers. Modifier, again, is basically going to be your total score, subtract 10 and divide by 2. So in this case, 15 minus 10 is 5. Half of 5 is 2.5, so it rounds down to 2. And you will see if I was able to get that up to 16 somehow, it would, of course, increase to 3. But we don't, at this point, have that ability until we go into our races. So what kind of fighter do I want to make? What race shall we use? Let's use, since I've already done a few other characters and made them, I know that the mountain dwarves here give me a +2 to my score in strength if I was to create a mountain dwarf. And it's also going to increase my constitution score by 2. So that's a pretty good bonus. If I made a regular human, I would be able to add +1 to all my stats. Of course, +1 to all of my stats is only going to be helpful for me if they're all odd number, and then they become even number. So every time you go up to an even number, you're basically going to increase your modifier. So you can see when I go from a 14 to a 15, it doesn't change my modifier. It's just the even numbers that should go up, because when you divide by 2, it will give you that extra bonus. So what I could do is lose some points and make them more better for a human, shall we say. You can see if we look at our stat block again back here. Keep going up, up, up. There we go. So from a 14 to a 13, I would gain 2 points, because I wouldn't spend 7, I would only spend 5. So if I did that, we could take our 14 and make it a 13, gives us 2 extra points to spend, which means I can take my 12 and make it a 13 for 1 point. So let's do that. Make our 12 a 13. And also, let's take our 8 and make it a 9 for 1 point. So that would be the 2 points that I used to lower that. So I have 15, 13, 13, 13, 10, 9. If I choose to be a human, a lot of these odd scores would then go even, which would be very good because you'll see my modifiers change. So in this case, we will be a human. And of course, we'll be a fighter. There we go. So humans are going to give me +1 in every one of my ability scores. So I will do that. And there we oops. Up one. There you go. So you are end up with a 16, 14, 14, 14, 10, 11, 3, 2, 2, 2, 2, 0, 0. So I'm kind of hurting in wisdom and charisma. Alright, so let's go back to the humans and see what else they give us. I know right off the top of my head that they don't give us a lot, other than the bonuses to all of our ability scores. We are base walking speed is 30, and we're considered medium, and we can speak common and 1 extra language of our choice. Alright, so if we click on our background here, we know common, and 1 of our choice, we will just say Elvish for whatever reason. There we go. Alright, now let's look at our fighter bonuses, shall we? Oop, go back. Here we are in the fighter part. So, class features, we get 1d10 plus per level, plus our constitution modifier. You see our constitution modifier is 2, so a fighter gets 10 points at first level, automatically max, depending on your race. And of course, plus our constitution modifier is 2, so we have a total of 12 points here. There we go. 10 plus 2 is 12. Our initiative, let's look at our, we have strength and constitution is our saving throw proficiencies. So strength and constitution, you will see these numbers obviously go up as soon as I click off, so the sheet has a chance to update. Yes. Hello. I'm not sure why it's not updating. Auto-updating. Let's see. It should auto-update it. Let's roll a save and see what happens. Rolled a 19, 20, 21, 2. Oh, I know why. It's not giving us our proficiency bonus. You, of course, have to come in and go to your class and choose, yes, I'm a fighter, first level. You'll notice it'll automatically add in our proficiency bonus now. Before, our proficiency bonus was 0. There we go. Excellent. So proficiency bonus at first level is 2. What else does a fighter give us? Choose any 2 skills from acrobats, animal handling, athletics, history, insight, intimidation, perception, and survival. Well, those are all really good lists, but what I want to do is I kind of want to decide my background as first, because of course our background is going to give us some class feats or class skills as well. So let's see. Let's find this nice good background for our characters here. Criminal. Maybe a fighter that turned into from the life of crime. Trying to make amends for all the wrongdoings he did in the past. It sounds interesting. Folk hero. Come from a humble society rank, but you are destined for so much more. Already the people of your home village regard you as their champion. Ah, yes. That's what it is. We're going to be a folk hero. So you can see, we want to decide what our background is kind of ahead of time, because animal handling and survival, again, these are part of my fighter class, which we'll look at here in a second, but animal handling and survival. So we'll choose these two. Under skills, animal handling, proficient, yes. Survival is yes. We also get one type of artisan tools. One type of artisan tools and a vehicle, land vehicle. Really? Okay. And equipment. A set of artisan tools of our choice. A shovel, an iron pot, a set of common clothes, and a belt pouch. Wonder, can I copy and paste this into our inventory? Actually, let's do it. I'd have to individually put them in. That's alright. I'm not going to worry about that for now. Let's go back to our skills here. If we go back to our... Alright, so we already put in animal handling and survival. Go back up to our fighter here, which is... I should remember what page these things are on. That's a cleric. There's the rogue, so we went too far. Go back up. Go back up. Back up. Back up. There we go. It's on page 24. Should write that down. So... Yes, fighter. Okay. Okay, so we're proficient in all armor and shields, which is important for our proficiency bonuses. So if we go to background, scroll down to armor proficiencies, all armor and shields. H-I-E-S-H-I-E-L-D-S. Thank you. All armor and shields. Simple weapons. Mortal weapons. I wonder... Can I? Yes, okay. I can copy and paste. That'll make things so much easier. No tools at this point. We do get artisan tools from our... Let's scroll back down here. For our folk hero, where are we, folk hero? Soldier, we gotta go back up. Sage, noble, folk hero, there we are. One type of artisan tools, equipment, just copy that. And we'll, of course, add this stuff individually into our inventory later on, but, of course, everybody knows how to do that. Let's go back to page, what was it, 28? No, it must have been 24. Whoa. 24. There we go. Yes. So, all armor and shields, we know weapons, simple weapons and mortal weapons, no tools. We got our strength and constitution saving throws. We know our skills now. We already put our background ones there. Of course, we didn't want to choose animal handling here because we got it from our background. Right? We got it from our background, animal handling. So we don't want to choose that again. So that's why you kind of have to kind of decide your background and your class kind of at the same time. At least your bonuses, so you don't like overlap them. And of course, here's survival as well. So we want to make sure we don't choose those two from our fighter one. So we want, let's see, intimidation and perception. Let's try those two. Sound like good ones, of course. Intimidation, yes. And of course, perception, yes. Alright, and of course you'll see your numbers changing here automatically. You can download a fillable sheet like this. You don't have to do it in app Roll20, but you can download 5th edition fillable sheet like this, very similar to this. You can download them from the internet already. They'll be able to auto calculate your stuff for you. Alright, so we've got our class, we've got our race, we got our hit points, we've got our initiative, we've got our armor proficiency. Let's look at the rest of the fighter stuff. That's what we should do. So equipment, we're going to start with the following equipment. We're either going to start with chainmail or leather and a long bow and arrows. So I think this guy is going to do chainmail. Let's look at our chainmail, shall we? So what we're going to look at first is equipment here. Yep, we're going to look at equipment because this is going to determine how we're going to do things with our character sheet here in a second. We're going to look at our armor. We're going to decide what armor is best for us based upon our stats. So you can see chainmail is down here, and you will notice it is listed under heavy armor. Heavy armor. We do have proficiency again in all armor. If we go to background, all armor and shields. The thing with chainmail armor is we will not get any dexterity modifier to add to this whatsoever. If we look at our character sheet, our character stats, we have right now currently a dexterity of 14, and we're going to get a bonus of 2 onto that. And I'm just wondering if maybe it's more prudent for us to put this 14 in a different skill, like wisdom, and put dexterity as 10. If we choose the chain shirt, there's no sense in having a dexterity score of 14 because we're not going to get any bonus to our armor. Of course, we would lose our initiative bonus of +2 if we switch out these scores, but of course having higher wisdom would give us better stats on some of our skills. If we look at, say, insight right now, you can see we have 0 because our modification is 0. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm actually going to switch these two scores. I'm going to give our wisdom of 14 and dexterity of 10. So this way we're going to go ahead and put on armor. Chain mail. Is that one word or 2 words? Good question. That is 2 words. Okay. Chain mail. It's going to give us a base armor class of 16. 16, and of course we're going to choose heavy armor so the program will know not to add in any dexterity modifiers. If we choose medium, you will see that it should have chose. Oh no, because we already switched our score. If for example, let's just say I left that on 14 or 16, 14. It was 14. You will see that it will automatically calculate and add. If it's under medium armor, it'll add our dexterity modifier. So you can see once we switch to heavy, it will say, "Oh, you're wearing heavy armor. You get no dexterity modifier," and automatically adjust that. So most of these calculating sheets will do that for you. Very nice, very awesome, great. Stealth penalty, yes. Stealth penalty, of course. Yes. Disadvantage. Speed penalty. Good question. Speed penalty, let's look at that. There is a penalty. I'm just trying to remember what it is. All of the armor categories. Heavy armor doesn't let you add your dexterity modifier, but it also doesn't penalize you for its negative. I believe, I could be wrong, but I believe heavy armor. Oh, good thing, yes, I forgot to check. We do need to have a strength of 13, which we do. Okay. Okay, heavy armor interferes with the wearer's ability to move quickly, stealthily, and freely. If the armor table shows a strength 13 or 15 in the strength column, the armor reduces the wearer's speed by 10 feet unless the wearer has a strength score equal to or higher than the listed score. So again, to be able to anybody can wear the heavier armor. It's just if you don't have a strength of 13 or a strength of 15, you're going to lose 10 feet to your movement. So that's okay for us because we have the strength to force it to move along as we try to run around. And alright, so that was the first thing, chainmail. Second thing is a martial weapon and a shield, or two martial weapons. So we actually need to go back and look at I gotta look at the inventory here. And I know all this stuff because I've made about obviously a whole bunch of different characters so far, as you can see from our roll 20. But I'm trying to show this like you making your first character, first couple characters, and checking things to make sure how things work. Alright, so if we go down to shields, here's what I'm looking for to show you the difference here. Shields, if I take a shield, it's going to add 2 to our armor class. And then we would get a martial weapon of our choice, basically. We could choose a martial weapon of our choice because we know all martial weapons. Of course, we couldn't choose one that is two-handed because we're going to have a shield on our one hand. Or we can choose like 2 mortal weapons. Let's show you how the 2 mortal weapons works. If I can here. Alright, so if you choose one that's light here, it's small and easy to handle, making it ideal for use when fighting with 2 weapons. See the rules for 2-weapon fighting in Chapter 9. I'm going to pause it for a second so I can find that page for you, and I'll be right back. Okay, so 2-weapon fighting is pretty simple here. When you attack with a light melee weapon that you're holding in one hand, you can use a bonus action to attack with a different light melee weapon you're holding in the other hand. You don't add your ability modifier to the damage of the bonus attack unless the modifier is negative. If either weapon has a throwing popper, you can throw the weapon instead of taking a melee attack with it. So we go back up here and look. Basically, we would get an attack. We could take a scimitar and a scimitar, or a short sword and a short sword. They both do 1d6. We could take a scimitar and a short sword. What else is light? Anything? That looks like it's about it. If we wanted to do two-handed fighting. Or again, we could take a nice one-handed weapon that, let's see here. Of course, we could also choose a simple weapon if we wanted to. There's a sickle, light. It's only a 1d4 weapon though. Here's another one, a club. We could do dual clubs. Or beat somebody down with our dual clubs. Daggers. 1d4. Here's a light weapon, hand axes. So we could dual hand axes. Lots of different options. I think what I'm going to just do is a nice... let's look at the rest of our class features here to see what our other choices coming up are going to be. So you could see that our next choice is going to be a crossbow and bolts or 2 hand axes. So again, the reason I mentioned that is because I was thinking, well, we could just do 2 hand axes, but I knew that choice was coming up for the fighter later on anyways. So I think what we'll do is we'll take the 2 axes in our second choice and leave our first choice to be a shield and a mortal weapon. So we'll take a mortal weapon and a shield, and then we'll also choose crossbow and bolts. Yeah, maybe better to have a crossbow and bolts. Alright, so we'll choose a mortal weapon and a shield, and then light crossbow and bolts. So let's choose a battle axe because it's versatile. If for whatever reason we drop our shield or don't have it on, we can always put a second hand on it. Battle axe is awesome. So we will choose a battle axe. Let's go to weapons, weapon, battle axe. Choose it in our main hand. It's finesse. Nope, not a finesse weapon. No magic bonus. Damage dice is going to be 1d8. Bonus damage is 3, and it's going to be slashing. Is that what that is? Slashing. Yep. Slashing. Alright, and so we also get a shield, so we're going to add that to our inventory here. Shield. IELD. Base armor class of 2. This is going to be yep, it adds it down there. So let's just see if it changes our armor class. Yep, 18 there. Here we go. 18's pretty good because you can see just if you're looking at our character as a fighter versus somebody else, 18 armor class, which kind of sounds wimpy in some of the other systems and stuff. But remember, first level, this character's got a +5 to his attack, +5. So with an 18 armor class, I'm gonna have to roll 13 or higher with this character to hit himself. Some of the other characters won't have +5 to hit because they're, of course, not getting a really high strength bonus or whatever. They might only have, say, a +2 or +3 or +4 to hit. So they're going to have to roll 14, maybe 15 to hit this character. That's pretty good at 18. Really nice. Where else? What else did we do? We had our shield, right? Yep. Okay, good. I'll try to go through this step by step for you guys, nice and slow, so you can see what we're doing here. So we did that. We did mortal weapon and shield. Now we can add our 2 hand axes No, I think we decided to go with light crossbow. This is page 24. I gotta remember that. Equipment. We'll add our light crossbow here. That's going to be under simple weapons. 1d8 piercing. Ammunition range. The way they work range now is that you have the first number and a second number. So the first number is the range you can shoot up to normal. And the second number is the range you can shoot up to, but anything that's past the first number up to the second number is disadvantage. So if I shot this light crossbow, say 100 feet away, it's higher than 80 feet, but less than 320, so it's going to be a disadvantage. In fact, if we look at this, it should show you, or maybe it explains it. Even range weapon that can be used to make a range attack with the parentheses after ammunition and throwing property. The range lists 2 numbers. The first number is the normal range. The second is its weapon's long range. When attacking a target beyond its normal range, you have disadvantage. You can't attack a target beyond the weapon's long range. So normal range and long range. Again, light crossbow, 1d8 piercing. go to weapons. Ranged weapon here. Light. Crossbow. Type is normal. Magical bonus. Damage dice is 1d8. C P-I-E-R-C-E. Pierce. P-I-E-R-C-E. Pierce? Yes? No? Pierce. P-I-E-R-C-I-N-G. Sure. Piercing. There you go. So, good. That's taken care of on our fighter sheet. 24. What else do we get? Dungeoneer's pack and an explorer's pack. So, again, back to the equipment page. If you want to look at your packs here and what's listed in your pack, which is like one of the best things ever, instead of trying to individually buy everything, let's just put all the common normal items into a pack. Alright, so look at Dungeoneering's pack. It includes a backpack, a crowbar, a hammer, 10 pythons, 10 torches, a tinderbox, 10 days of rations, a water skin. Also has 50 feet of hemp rope strapped to the side of it. And Dungeoneering and Engineering, Explorer, I think it was, wasn't it? Yes, includes a bed pack, a roll, mess kit, tinderbox, torches, 10 days ration, a water skin, and 50 feet of hemp rope strapped to the side of it. Let's choose this one, sure. Let's see if I can cut and paste this again. Come on, go by. Just like to put this stuff right here for now. Wherever I have enough room. And then I'll just add this stuff in later. Obviously you don't need to watch me go into my inventory and put every single item in here and its weight and its description and all that stuff. Okay, so fighter. Let's see what else we get as the fighter here. 24. So we've got a fighting style to choose. So we can choose archery, defense, dueling, great weapon fighting, protection, two-weapon fighting. So when you engage in two-weapon fighting, you can add your ability modifier to the damage of the second attack. Oh, one thing we did forget to do is add our hand axes. See? And then what was the damage? I think it was 1d6-ish. What was that? Hand axe. 1d6, yep. I should just go with my instincts because I know this pretty well. 1d6. Slashing. Sure. This is actually, we're going to put this in. We're going to have one in our main hand, and then we're going to do the second thing and put this in our offhand. D6. Slashing. Because when we roll damage, if we use this in our offhand, we want to remind ourselves that we don't get our ability modifier in the offhand. So, with this program, it'll automatically do that if I say offhand. So, your sheet might be slightly different, but you get the drift of what you want to do there. Make sure you have one in your main hand, one in your offhand, and if you have any kind of, you can put on here no strength mod. So kind of remind yourself, however you want to do it, whatever's best for yourself. Let's see here. What else do we get? Let's go to page 25 now because we're moved on. Okay. So defense. When we're wearing armor, we can get a +1. We can get a +2 to our attacks with ranged weapons. So our crossbow will become that much more dangerous. Dueling, when you're wearing having a melee weapon in one hand and no other weapons, gives you a +2 bonus to damage roll. Oops, sorry about that. Had to run downstairs for a second. Dueling, when you're wielding a melee weapon in the hand and no other weapon. Gain a +2 to bonus on damage rolls with that weapon. Great weapon fighting. When you roll 1 or 2 on damage die. When you attack with a melee weapon, If you're wielding with two hands, you can reroll the die. Protection is a really good one to help your allies. When a creature you can see attacks a target other than you that is within 5 feet of you, you can use your reaction to impose disadvantage on the attack roll. You must be wielding a shield. That's what we're going to do since we got a shield. So background, this is going to be a... Yeah, we'll put it down here, I guess, under the weapons. Sure, why not? Oops, disadvantage. Alright, there we go. Excellent. So we got that. Second wind. There we go. You basically can spend your bonus action to get back hit points equal to 1d10 plus your fighter level. So that we will put up here, I guess. And of course, you can put it anywhere you want on your sheet, just as long as you have a specific spot. There we go. I'm just going to put it here just so for ease of what I'm doing here. Of course, you're going to fill out all this information. Gender, age, height, weight. You can roll for that, or you can just make it up for yourself. What else do we got? Starting at second level, we get an action surge. We don't get that yet. Third level, we don't get that. We don't get this yet. Extra attack, we don't get this. We don't get indomitable. Alright, so martial arts types, we don't have to really worry about that yet, because most of these powers don't come into play until you start going up in certain levels. So at third level, you're going to choose an archetype, basically a sub class of your class. And I think pretty much, besides just the backgrounds here, we need to do the backgrounds. Finish our background here. Keep going, keep going. What page are we on here? We're pretty much done with this. We just need to add in a few things for our background. Oop, did I miss it? Yes, I did. I was on the wrong thing. So here's all the information about height and weight. So it's slightly different on how you're going to do this. From what I remember anyways. You're going to base height of 4d8, and if you want to do it by actually rolling in the charts and stuff, this is how it happens. So you're going to take your modifier and add plus 2d10. So let's do that. Alright. We'll just close this for a second. Roll 2d10. See what we get here. We got a 5 and 1 is 6. That's not so good. We're just a short dude. So 6, 4'8". We're 5'2". All right, so 5'2". But remember, we rolled a total of 6. That's going to come into play later on. So 4. Where's our character here? Where is he? There he is. So background. We are 5'2" tall. Gender, we will say male. Height. Oops, I'm sorry, put that on the wrong thing. Height. What did I say? It was 5'2" tall. Age. Let's figure out age here in a second. So weight is going to be 110 pounds plus 2d4 pounds. So we're going to roll 2d4. Alright, so let's see if we can do this. 2d4. Roll. I don't need to actually see the roll, I just need to see the totals. So we rolled a 5. So what we're going to do is take our height modifier of 6 is what we rolled here. And we're going to multiply that by the 5 we rolled here. So 5 times 6 is 30. And we're going to add that to 110 pounds. So we got 140 pounds. So this is what we ended up with. So you're going to take this first number, whatever you're ended up rolling, and you're going to multiply that by whatever this second number is here. So again, we rolled 5 total here. We rolled 6 total here. We're going to multiply these together, 30. Add that to our base weight of 110. That's going to be 110 and 30 is 140. 140 pounds. Age. I think age actually goes back. You have to look if we're going to do this correctly here. Under your actual race, it will tell you your age. Humans, here we are. Might as well do this the correct way. Human traits. Age. Humans usually reach adulthood in their late teens and live less than a century. So it doesn't give you specific information, but kind of gives you something to go on. Late teens. So we're going to say 19. Eyes. Brown. Nope. Nope. Why is that not going over there? There we go. Brown. Hair. Brown. Size. Medium. How do I get my size? I know from right here. It says I am medium, just so you can reference that. Our speed is 30 feet, so that's very important for us. Which is going to go, depending on your character sheet, it might be a little different, but mine goes right here. 30 feet. Right. And languages, we already decided what we're going to do for languages. That's right. Vision. Normal vision. And alignment. Well, let's look at our background again. For folklore here. Criminal folklore. There we go. So, defining event. You can roll 1d20 or 1d10. Gives you some other information, suggested characters. So let's look at personality traits. I'm just going to think of a number of 7. I misuse long words and attempt to sound smarter. Control C. Which, if we look at our character, well, he does have, he shouldn't have 14 intelligence. I adjusted one of these without thinking, didn't I? No, that's right. 14. Okay. I think that's right. 15, 10, 13, 13, 13, 10. I think that is actually right. Okay. So in our background tab, we're going to look at personality traits. Misuse long words. Yep. Alright, so I'm just going to put that in there. Ideas. Number 1. People deserve to be treated with dignity and respect. Sure do. Ideas. Bond. Number 4. My tools. And my tools are symbols of my past life, and I carry them so I will not forget my roots. Control C. Bonds. And last but not least, our flaws. Sure, this one sounds good. Alright, secretly, I believe that things would be better if I were a tyrant lording over the land. Racial traits. We don't really have any, but if you have some of the sub-races, elves and dwarves and things, you'll have quite a list there. The humans, they don't really give you any kind of bonuses other than your stat bonuses. I think we is about done, aren't we? Let's look at our sheet here just to see. Got all that. Got our skills adjusted. Background, we did that. We just filled that out. We got our armors, our weapons, our tools. We got our class here. We have weapons, which we've already filled out. Ranged weapons. Spell book. We don't have any spells. We don't have to worry about that. Our inventory is the only thing we would need enough to do, where we just go in and manually put all of our different weapons, the weights, yada yada yada. And that's pretty much it. We are done. We can name our character. Yes, we can. Let's think here. Gregory. It's kind of boring. Let's try something a little more exciting. I don't know. Can't think of... I never can when the pressure's on like this. Markle Thornsby. There we go. That's... At least it's not something a little unique. Anyways, there we go. Character is done. It's taken me probably about 20 minutes longer than I would normally have done, because I wouldn't have had to... I would have just had my basic rules up on my other monitor and just had it over there so I can just reference it when I needed to. A lot of this information that I was showing you where it's at, I kind of knew, but I wanted to show you in case this is your first time creating characters, where to look and what to look for. I think we are pretty much done with this guy here. If you have any kind of bonuses and penalties, like for example, if I was to take that fighter feat that gives us +2 to ranged, I would put that here, +2, and then on my range things, it would auto-calculate +2 to my attack for ranged weapons. But I'm not going to do that. I don't want to screw this up. Anything else? I think we're done. Current XP is 0. And I would be ready to go with this character. Of course, if you're playing win the game and stuff, if you're playing on Roll20, you would want to have an icon for your character and everything. But that's for a different video when we talk about Roll20. So that's how you make a character in 5th edition for a fighter. I think we're going to go ahead and do one more. We'll do a spellcaster, because it's basic, same process, but this way you can understand how you do your spell levels and all that. So we'll do that next time. So leave your thoughts, comments, suggestions below, and we'll see you next time, folks. Thanks for watching.